My lords, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to Rimworld. We've picked up pretty much where we left off last time around, and I'd like to preface this episode by issuing a little bit of a warning of sorts, that at the moment I am sat downstairs. It is 3:27 AM, and I have a rather grumpy and sleep-deprived 2-year-old toddler sat behind me, who refuses to sleep in her bed, so I've drawn parent duty, and she's currently sat quietly watching some child program on the TV. But if you do hear any noises in the background, that's what that is. I will try and edit all of that out, obviously, so this episode might be a bit shorter than usual, and there might be a few jump cuts in this, and if there is some background chatter and baby babble, I can only apologise in advance. But I wanted to try and get an episode out there, but I'll do my best to offset the impact of a rather whiny 2-year-old girl that you may hear in the background. So, how's things in the colony? Well, we've still got our 6 colonists. We have Stuart still visiting us as part of a quest. I'm not sure how long he's going to be with us for. If we just have a look here, active. Which one was it? Here we go. Shuttle arrives in 3.8 days, at which point Stuart will depart, so we'll lose his skills and capabilities, but we will gain a new colonist here, Badawachada. I'm not sure if that's correct pronunciation there. And that will then take up to 7 permanent colonists. Obviously in the last episode we'd recruited Riser and Sanford. We have Leslie as our moral guide, if you remember. We did that at the end of the last episode, and we tested out her powers. Tried the conversion ability on Garcia, and it did reduce her certainty somewhat better than normal, which is good to see. So hopefully, using Leslie's skills and abilities, we will soon have another member of our ideology alongside us. Just noticed here that somebody has heat stroke. Leslie. Oh, that's right. Yes, I never realised this when I built the room, but there's a steam geyser in here, which isn't ideal. And that's sending the temperature in here, as we can see, up to 54 degrees. So I think what I will end up doing is just rearranging the wall in here so this steam geyser is not part of this room, because while it's not affecting how quickly our crops will deteriorate, it's certainly not healthy for our colonists. So that's on the list of things to do in this episode. That's why I've expanded this slightly, as we can see here. And then what we can do is, if we find where the steam geyser is, I think it's here underneath this corn, but we'll wait for it to erupt. Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll just wall like that, remove these 6 cells from the stockpile, and that should help keep the temperature a bit more manageable in here, shall we say. So let's do that now. So we want to shrink zone, and we want to shrink it like, we'll go like that just to be doubly certain. And then what we'll do is we'll get a slate wall and just build that like so, and that should be enough. So all of these items need hauling now, because they're no longer technically in the stockpile zone, since we just shrank the area. I did follow up on a suggestion that was made by a viewer, and that was to amend this work order so Garcia just drops the finished product on the floor rather than take it to the stockpile. I don't know why I didn't do that originally. It's a very good idea. So that's now done, which is why this food is gathering on the chair where she works. And obviously once she's done enough, or when somebody's idle, they can come through, pick up these plates of food and drop them off onto our work shelf. Okay, so that's the steam geyser now sectioned off, if you will, walled off, not part of this room anymore. so this temperature in here should now start to drop to something a little bit more manageable. We'll keep an eye on that. I've also queued up a... Oh, we have some rhinos. Yes, I've queued up this mining order finally. If you remember, I wanted this to be some sort of workshop. And what we're going to do today, if we get a chance, is get this mine out and turn it into a workshop. And we're going to put a fueled smithing table and the likes up here. And some of our other workbenches up here as well. And then we'll start dabbling in the old smithing aspect of the Rimworld mods that we have. That way we can create some weapons and the likes. And it'll give us something to sell to passing trade caravans to earn us some more money. Alright, so overnight we've actually got a raid on the way. This is a raid from the Bodorodo Kingship. They are tribespeople. They will prepare before attacking, so let's go have a look what we're dealing with. It looks like just 2 raiders here. One armed with a short bow and one armed with a steel equar. So I believe we're gonna be pretty safe here. Where's our nearest colonist? I think Riser is our nearest colonist. So Riser, what we need you to do is come down here and open this door. And this door as well. And hold this door open. So if we can draft you to head out here and then up here and then back, that will open all this. Hopefully the jungleists don't wake up and take an interest in us, but we'll see what happens. Okay, there we go. What are you doing? Don't go out there, please. And in fact, what we will do is we'll disallow use of that door, just to prevent our people from making their way through. So the tribes people are making their way in now. Because that door's open, they'll now head down here through our corridor, and wabam, there we go, 1 down, and the other raider is now fleeing wherever they got to. Not sure where they are. But that's the end of that little threat, such as it was. So that's 1 raid successfully dealt with in the early start of the episode. As you can see, I've also made a slight adjustment here. I've removed the 2 walls here. And this is helping keep this temperature down in this room a lot more, as we can see. 24 degrees, so there's no more any danger of heat stroke when our colonists are getting themselves a bit of food. We do have a minor break risk, and that is Sanford. Let's see what your problem is, Sanford, shall we? Okay, so you're cannibalistic, are you? Well, what we could do... Is this colonist dead? Yes. Sanford, why don't you come out here? Oh, you can't, can you? Because that's disallowed. Oh, there we go. Well, do you know what? Suck it up. I'm not micromanaging your desire to eat human flesh. But Sanford notwithstanding, it looks like we're doing okay. Python's just treating his sleeping sickness here. His immunity is now at 93%. I guess that means everybody else can be tended pretty soon. Well, James has already done that. He's got an immunity difference of 7%. And Garcia, oh, she is well immune almost. What is it? 91%. So the sleeping sickness will soon no longer be an issue for us. It's not caused us too many problems. Perhaps it's just been reducing our colonists' tiredness bar a little faster than usual, but it's not something I've noticed and had to contend with too badly. Let's just get these meals hauled out of here, shall we? There we go. So things at the moment are going pretty well in our colony, although it looks like our food stockpile zone is pretty full, and we have quite a lot of potatoes ready to go. So that's going to need expanding. This room has almost been completed, as we can see. So this is our priority for today. We have enough food in here, and I think we might just about have enough spaces. And what we could also do is combine some of these piles, although they do all look like full stacks, to be fair. So there might not be enough space to free up, but never mind, we can see what we can do. This steel is blocking the doorways, we can see. I need to get that moved. Let's shrink this zone like that. There we go. Yeah, it was pointed out that it was wood had been holding this door open. I had noticed that I kept meaning to address it, but I kept getting sidetracked, so that's now dealt with as well. Our little workshop room has been sorted, as we can see. Just need to get it cleaned up, get everything hauled out of here. We want some torches to go up in here as well, so we'll put them down. So furniture, torch lamp, and we'll have 2. And then we want to put some work tables in here. So we already have a, what's this? This is a tailor bench that can be moved over. This stonecutter's table can also be moved over, as can this wooden art bench. But in terms of new facilities for production, I'd like to get a smithy in here. And is there anything else there that I think we could deal with? A smelter? A smelter would be quite nice. So let's first of all get our, what was that? That was the smithy and the smelter assigned for construction. And then we can get these moved over as well. So this is the art bench. Sorry, the stonecutter's bench and the art bench placed here. And then these want their own chairs building as well. So we want furniture. Let's have wooden chairs there and there, there and there. None of this is particularly urgent, but it's nice to have a little workshop area. And it'll free up a bit of space in here as well. What do we have here? Colossal aero fleet has jumped onto the map, surrounded by several smaller ones. Very good, very good. So it looks like one of our traps, has been triggered by this junglist, as we can see, but that's not too much of a concern. Let's just now get this sorted out. So we want that door closing, and in fact what we also want is another door just there. And then who can construct here? Riser, I would like you to work on these, please. Okay, so Riser's rearming our defences now. Keep everything nice and secure down here. And the extra access door has now been installed as well. So there we go. Now we do need to bury this raider here. So what we want to do is duplicate a grave. And this can go, well, it doesn't really matter, just there. Leslie, you were just down here, so could you work on that grave? Oh no, no you can't. James, you're relaxing socially. Riser, you're resting. Okay. Well, somebody will work on that when they're available. Riser and Sanford are night owls, and I was accidentally there. I'd forgotten about that. I was using Riser during the daytime, which has tanked her move, but she's asleep now. I do apologise for that, Riser. Okay, as we can see here, somebody has opted to haul the corpse to our stockpile. So what we're going to do is we're going to have the grave constructed up here, and we're going to get James to work on that immediately. And then get this raider, Jaguar, buried and out of sight. We don't want our colonists having to observe a corpse every time they come into our workshop or our stockpile zone. So that's that taken care of. I did have Leslie attempt another conversion on Garcia, and that's dropped her certainty down to 73%, as we can see. So slowly but surely, we're bringing more of our colonists into the fold. Oh, we've researched swimming pools. What should we research next? Let's have a look through here. I'm quite tempted to start on gunpowder. It's not too bad in terms of research points, and it does unlock a few ranged weapons. So let's go for that. And between our decent researchers, we do have a few. We've obviously got Garcia. I think Python's quite handy, as is Leslie, as is Riser, and as is Sanford. So we should be able to get through this pretty quickly. And at this point we might want to have an extra research table installed somewhere. Now that we have 4 colonists suitable to do research. So as you can see, our workshop is taking shape now. We've only got the fueled smithy to finish off. I guess Riser and Sanford will be off to bed soon enough, after they've just a few more tasks around the base. I must say, having the night owls around is quite useful, because it does mean we can get stuff done overnight, and things doesn't, everything doesn't grind to a halt. As you can see here, Python has developed the immunity, so that will now start subsiding. James, you're up to 84%, and Garcia, you must be very close as well, 98%. So at least 2 out of 3 of our colonists are either free of the disease or going to be free of it very soon. Okay, so the smithy is now constructed, as we can see. So here's all the things we currently can make. Obviously for some of them we need wood, some of them we need some sort of leather, and some of them we need metallic or stony items. And I'm going to guess to get that we need to smelt metal from slag. No. How do we get metallic? Or does that just mean we can use any metallic substance? Let's try this. If we construct, say, a simple helmet. Yes. Python. Okay, I think it looks like, no. Oh yes, he just picks up any metal that we have. Okay, that's fine. And now we can start constructing our own armor and weapons, which is quite handy, I'm sure. There we go, we made a simple steel helmet. One thing we do need to do is make Riser some clothing. As we can see, she's still naked. We do have a bit of cloth on hand now, so I'm going to have Python prioritise doing a bit of tailoring work. But so far so good in the colony, no major concerns at the moment. The influx of colonists that we've had over the past episode or two has been really helpful. And how far away is Stuart from departing? Let's have a look. Oh, 6 hours. Just 6 hours. As we can see, a few colonists are missing sidearms or ranged weapons. What sidearm are you missing? Well, forget about that. There we go. So who doesn't have a ranged weapon at the moment? Sanford. Well, now that we have this up and running, we could actually construct him a great bow. Or crossbow. Yes, we unlocked crossbow. Do we have any components? Yes, we do. Let's construct a crossbow. And then that can be Sanford's ranged weapon, which is going to clear up this. Obviously, we've got this tattered apparel notification. So now that this harvest is coming in, we'll get some more clothes created for our colonists to try and get rid of that modifier. Who needs treatment? Riser. Benign growth. Okay, that's in our left middle finger. Right, who is our number 1 medic now? It was Leslie. I believe it was Leslie, yes, 7. It's still Leslie, okay. Can you... no. Rise, if you just quickly self-tend. Now, at some point we could just amputate this left middle finger. It's going to reduce their manipulation, but it's going to get rid of the benign growth overall. So that's something we want to consider doing. But before we do that, I'd like to have a dedicated hospital. And we could make this room here into our hospital. Okay, the shuttle has arrived for Stuart, as we can see. Where is it landing? Outside our safe zone, but not too far outside. So let's send Stuart on his way. Thank you for all your help, Stuart. You've been most helpful. And then I imagine as you depart, we're going to get our new colonist, who, if I recall, also happens to be a member of our same, of the ideology. Let's send you on your way. There we go, that's that done. And here comes Badawachara. Let's get you inside ASAP. Although I think the junglisks at the moment are fairly subdued and it is night time. Just about. Ooh, just inside. So there we go, Badawachara has joined the fold. we need to construct him a bed, and we also need to work on his work priorities. So we'll have the usual ones here. Alright, so that's the setup I'm going for here for Badawachada. Smithing and tailoring, mining, constructing, cooking, and the basic ones over here as well. And now that Badawachada's work priorities have been set up, I think we'll end this episode here today. I hope you've enjoyed the episode and you're continuing to enjoy this series overall. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, ladies and gentlemen, take very good care of yourselves. It's ta-ta for now.